we're ready to go live here. We're ready to kick on in. I see Nick Beans and Encrypted in the chat. I think we're ready to do this down here in the workshop. Sorry for the late start, folks. Let's kick in and see if it works. Yeah, there we go. I think this is how it's supposed to look. I was setting everything up at the absolute last second because ever since I did a whole bunch of cleanup work on Streamlabs here, I've not. I'm also going to be checking lights to make sure I don't have crazy, way too bright backlighting going on. There we go. That's better. Ever since I did a whole bunch of like cleanup work on Streamlabs and did a bunch of like improving the channel, I haven't reset up the workshop look just yet. But we're here. We made it, and that's what's important, right? Cody Brooks, welcome in. Welcome in. We're working on a whole bunch of cool toys today. I'm gonna jump right to it because you'll still see me in the corner there, but I'm gonna jump to our close-up cam here. Oh, that smooth transition, beautiful. Let's see. Do we want? I can adjust this. I can make this work. Here we go. We want to go about there. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. We're making it work, folks. Got a lot going on here. We got a lot to work on. A lot of cool, fun things that we've worked on in the past that are now just coming. Like they're just ready to be painted. You'll all recall, of course, we were working on. These are not glued together just yet. But this Bigfoot Power Wheels, which is to scale with the old Bigfoot Hot Wheels, if I get them lined up about right. They're very much to scale with each other. They look really good. Very happy with how that turned out. This still needs to be glued up, but it does look really great. Little driver in the window, if I can get that in frame. There we go. So very pleased with that. Yeah, glad it wasn't Dr. Isaac Yankum. Can't trust that guy. And then I had another one that we were working on that I'm really excited to show how it turned out. It's also not glued up, so I just have to be careful. Whoa, watch streak, 15 streams. Let's go, Adam NX67. This is our supercharger style Bronco, and if it'll focus. Which it has trouble doing because the chrome is so chromy. Like, it's hard to tell that that's a 3D printed toy. And it does, thankfully, it does roll real nice. So, super shiny. That chrome, I mean, look in those tires. Look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Seeing if I can help it focus at all. But I think that came out really good. I'm really happy with that. I'm gonna glue that up probably off stream because literally watching glue dry is not all that exciting. But that came out beautifully. So we got a bunch of other things to work on. I know that chrome is so good. We got a bunch of different things to work on here. A bunch of different stuff we can paint up. So let's take a look at everything. We do have the Samson upgrade that I worked on with our own custom tire design that we made on the stream. I think this came out really nice. This sort of splits the difference between like a modern truck look and the old supercharger style. Really happy with that. Everything on this needs to be painted. Like everything needs to be painted. If I can pull the body off, we got the chassis, the interior, all the tires, all of it needs to be painted. So that we may get to that today. That's been sitting on the bench waiting for its day. But we also have our custom parts that we worked on here on the channel. And I don't think we've had a really good chance to take a look at how those turned out once they were printed. You'll all remember we worked on, the first thing we did was a camper trailer. And I designed it for this 3D printed body that I put with this little Walmart matchbox, or Walmart die-cast, I should say. This came out really nice. It's a perfect fit, And all the little details, like I know some of this lighting is going to be a little harsh on it, but all the little details, all the windows, the vent on the top, everything, the ladder on the back, looks so nice, and it just, bloop, just rests right on there and looks so good. Like, I'm really pleased with that. So we do have to paint this. That's got to get painted, so that's on the list for potential stuff today. Then we had we had our big multi-part where I had found this die cast. That is the Roadrunner series. It's got kind of a low stance and a very wide stance, and it has these bright colors. A nice empty back bed, I like that, with a long bed. And it does say 24-hour towing on the side, which to me meant this is like a utility truck. So for that, we designed the big honkin' snowplow that's going to attach on the front here. And that snowplow came out real nice. And it looks, I mean, just mocked up next to the truck. Looks really cool. And then, let's see, that truck reminds me of the Bad Medicine truck. Yeah, the low stance is very much like the old Bad Medicine truck for sure. And then we designed the sanding bucket that goes in the back with the little disperser, and we got the sand in the top there, and that really nicely just fits. I mean, give you an idea on this fit, right? It just a perfect fit, really, really nice. So the whole thing ends up looking really slick. I mean, I think that came out really great. I'm so pleased with it. So those are those projects, and we had one other, and this one's sort of the finicky painting. This one's going to be the one with a lot of like the small detail that I got to be real careful on. And that is we had this old Road Champs truck, which has a cool little party look to it. And a nice empty flat back bed with these little wheel wells, but that's easy to overcome in a design. And we decided to make a ride truck edition to turn this into a ride truck. So we've got the roll bars and the seats, and that came out so good. Like, I mean, if you've ever seen the ride truck toys in the stores too, this is exactly how they look. I also like that we left the middle open, so you can still see the bed frame through it. Like, I really like that color stays. So I'm not going to have to try to do any color matching there, which I'm grateful for, because color matching is really hard. Anyone who's watched the channel a lot knows that it's not my strong suit by any means. But we got some work to do, so we are going to set to it here. We got, as always, a whole sleeve of dollar store cups ready to go here. And then I do have a bunch of brushes. I got fresh water jars, so the water's all nice and clean. I'm not using dirty water to clean everything. Some of these brushes still have some cleaning that they need done on them, so I may have to revisit that. Actually, yeah, that just came right out. Yeah, looking good. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, these will all be okay. They're gonna need some attention, but I have a million more brushes, so. Now the only thing for us to do here is to pick which truck we work on first, because really we got to get through all of them. Let's see. Adam NX67 says actually went to the local store that sold Gundam, Pokemon, and all that stuff. They did have Gundam markers, but they were only in a 1-pack. Yeah, I was real lucky that I got my set of Gundam markers. I had the forethought at the Gundam Mall in Fukuoka to grab a big multi-pack of these. I'm glad I did it, because yeah, they're not impossible to find in the States, but they're not super easy to find either. All right, get rid of that. There we go. Making the chat a little bit bigger for myself so I can see what's going on here a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Now I can read what everybody's saying. All right, so of these, I think there's a few of them that are going to take multiple passes because I want to do multiple different colors on them. Some of them I'm going to have to mix up like custom colors. For example, the camper, I'm thinking has to be sort of like that beige camper color that you always see. And then a lot of these little details, the little rails and things, I might hit with the chrome. You know, do like a nice chrome window frame and all that kind of thing. So if I do that, that means I can do this whole thing with a big flat beige, cover the whole thing and let it get nice and dry before I come in and do all the little detail work. So I think that'll be an easy one. The only difficult part there is going to be just mixing up the right sort of color of beige. You know what I mean? I think this one is going to be very finicky, our little ride truck. And I'm going to have to pick out colors for it. And I'm sort of thinking like the seats are probably black, and then the rest of it I got to pick another color because I don't just want the whole thing to be black. So we may, I may try to do like a fun color for sort of the metal frame part, and then we'll do something else for the roll bars that are all cushiony. We've got Samson that we have to work on. We've got the snow plow and the sanding attachment. So I think maybe we start here because for my thinking, the snowplow is just going to be that sort of like yellow snowplow color. And I got to cover the whole thing with it. And then we can come back and like do a little detail work after if we want. But getting this like nice and covered and then just hung up to dry, I think is the big thing there. And I need to see, do I have a way to hang this up nicely? It's not going to get all... Oh, yeah, okay, all right. Nice. Yeah, okay. I can hang that up where it won't get all munged. All right. So let's... for those new to the channel, I do have a movable webcam now, which is really nice, which means I can come over here and show my drawer of paints. All these cheapo craft acrylics that I have to choose from. I don't think we've really gotten to see that on the stream before. But now that I have the tabletop cam that I can move, I can show that stuff. So I want that like kind of ugly snowplow yellow. You know, it's sort of yellow, but it's sort of off yellow. So I'm thinking we start with our like basic, your like canary yellow, standard protocol yellow. And then we got to go with something that's just like a slightly duller yellow. Something like I have like this golden sunset that I use for my hair on my action figures. I think somewhere splitting the difference between these is probably snowplow yellow. So you can also pretend there's an earthquake and we'll be like, stop it, John Tenta. Yeah. Oh. All right. Well, let's get to mixing some of this up, and we'll see what we can come up with here. I am going to. I always keep a giant thing of popsicle sticks around my paint mixers, and I'm a little weary about. I don't know. Do we want this piece to just match? Do we want to do the sanding bucket yellow as well, and then we'll make the sand on top sort of like a darker brown color? I think that could work. We could also make this like a red or something. I don't know. Sort of feeling it out. You think the both yellow would look good, or one yellow, one red? Now I know in the chat I saw we have Nicka Beans, we have Rye, we have Cody, we got Adam NX67. That means there's a handful of you that are planning to come to the Monster Jam meetup that we were talking about doing. Both yellow would be cool. Both yellow. Okay, it looks like that's the consensus, and I think that's good thinking. That's also, admittedly, going to make things easier for me. So a bunch of you are planning to come to the Day Without Darkness is here. I'll send Eric for me. A bunch of you were planning to come to that meetup, and if any of you haven't been over to my Discord today, please do. Let's see, can I get it in the chat? Can I do it? I don't know if it's gonna work. Of course it doesn't work. I believe I have it set so that anyone can do it, But if someone give it a try for me, type !Discord in the chat. Let's see if we can get it where anyone can make it pop up. If you haven't been to the Discord, we're trying to schedule that out. And what we've run into... Hey, there it is. Thank you, Adam NX67. I knew I put the permissions so anyone could do it. If you haven't been to the Discord, I have a poll in there setting up for when we're going to do this meetup, because the projected May date we were looking at either evening of the 8th, which is a Friday. There's no pit party. But then I found out that's when Limitless is. So no Johnny Torres and no Joey Nails. Neither of them would be able to make it. Or it would be very early on... We can go a little bit more than that. There we go. Or it would be very early on May 9th, Saturday, where there is a pit party, but it's at 9:30 in the morning. It would be cool to go in the pits, but my experience at Monster Jam is that it's really packed. You have to stand in lines like at Disneyland to take pictures with the trucks. Which, don't let that dissuade you. The pit party's still fun. But I have RAD that day, so I would have to be leaving a little bit early from that event. And Johnny Torres told me he would not be able to make it at all, because he would be getting back very late from Limitless the night before, and Joey Nails could make it, but it would be pushing it for him. It would be very difficult. And those are the only Worcester times that work. Alternatively, we're looking at possibly Sunday, March 22nd in Hartford for Monster Jam. The Hartford space I've been to with Torres before. Lovely venue. It's even been fixed up more since I was there, and it was great when I was there. They do have a pit party that we could do, so we could all get our pictures together and stuff with some of the trucks. It'd be a slightly later start. It's at 10:30 is when the pit party starts. I think the show starts at noon. Could be the show starts at 1. It's something like that. That is a bit earlier than we talked about. We were talking about May. This is March 22nd. And for some folks who are Worcester-based, I know we've got a big Worcester contingent in the chat, I know it's a little bit more of a trek, but there's no scheduling conflicts, with the exception of Joey Nails. Joey Nails has a scheduling conflict every day that we looked at, which is good. It means he's booked a lot. So Joey Nails will not be able to make it no matter what, unfortunately, but especially since he was the one popping a lot of those gift subs. Let's see, show starts at 1 p.m. Our pit party ends at noon for Hartford. Okay, so Cody Brooks is looking the info up. I'm super down for Hartford. Torres is down for Hartford. So if we're thinking March 22nd, Hartford, I want to see. Make sure you vote on the poll over in the Discord. That's where I'm going to try to look, because I know most of our primary crew is there. Speaking of, the Discord's been going off since it launched. Shouts out to Adam NX67 getting conversations going over there, talking monster trucks, talking wrestling, talking all kinds of stuff. We have a Dizzy Hellfire, who's an old school Perry fan, hanging out in there. It's been a blast. I was keeping an eye on it all day today. Super fun. Just super fun. All right, so let's see. I think now I want to find the best way to paint this where I'm not going to be touching what I've already painted, but I also won't have to come back in and do a bunch more. I think maybe I need to get my heat gun out so I can dry some parts fast. There we go. You can tell it's been a little while since I've been down here. This place, it is a mess down here, you guys. Folks, we've been talking about I got some stream anniversaries coming up. We got some anniversaries. Not sure if Eric would be able to go on the 22nd. Talk to him and find out. It's a week after the wedding, and I think you should both come. I think you'd have a blast. But yeah, a week after the wedding, I can see maybe neither of you can make it. You might have big plans. Let's see. I'm gonna set this somewhere out of the way here. There we go. Yeah, let's that's good. Put it right there. And we'll power that up when we need it. And it's possible if some folks can't make it, I might end up doing like 2 different ones. You know, we'll see. There's always more monster trucks. And if it's not Monster Jam, sometimes there's like the indie tours that come through. We can do that too. I do think that 22nd of March is probably the best option so far. All right, so I've mixed up. This is a pretty good. I think that's sort of snowplow yellow. It really splits the difference between the canary yellow and that sort of like yellowish brown. So I'm going to start laying down a layer on here. And I think what I want to do is get my little surgical clamps. Guys, if you're doing little finicky painting of things, a set of these bad boys, these little clamps that just click and they hold. Ah, amazing. I got these for 50 cents at the Brimfield Antique Fair. And if they'd had more, I would have bought more. There used to be like a dollar shop. The clamps. There used to be a dollar shop in the big main market in Northampton on the main street there. And they had a bin of these, and I had always meant to go back and grab some, and I just never got to it. Yes, Seekonk Speedway does have a show twice in the summer. They usually have one in June and one in late August and early September. There's always monster trucks at the Bolton Fair. There's often monster trucks at the Franklin County Fairgrounds in Greenfield. When the people who live next door to the fairgrounds don't whine and moan about the noise. Come on, you live next to the fairgrounds. Grow up. Right? I mean, come on. Am I out of line here? All right. Let's see. I wanna elevate this camera a little bit so that it can see a little bit better. Let me find a block to put it up on, because I'm gonna be painting up here and the camera's down here, and like we could point up, I guess. Maybe that's okay. Maybe that's all right. Yeah, there's a bunch of little indie shows that come through. So there's definitely a few that we could all end up hitting. All right, let's see how's this gonna look on here. Oh, that's very promising. Oh, I like that. That reads a snowplow for sure. Yeah, that's construction paint yellow. Number of drag strips, people move close to them and then they complain. Yeah, like, come on, you move next to the fairgrounds. Like, there's always been truck pulls there. There's always been the fair there with loud music and rides, and there's just all these people who are complaining about the noise, and it's like, come on. You knew what was there when you moved in. Unlike us, where we moved in where we live, and then about a year and a half later, a brewery opened about a mile from here, and they have a concert series all summer that is just so loud. It is so loud. We live a few miles from it, and it's so loud, and every neighbor in the whole town complains. You know, the one time I didn't complain was when They Might Be Giants played there. That was pretty great, and they so I could hear that from here, which was nice. But like mostly they just have like a bunch of artists that I really don't care about. I mean, you know, I know it's selfish that like, oh, it's an artist I like. Maybe I'll watch. See, I'm trying to find a good angle for you guys here, moving the camera about. Right now you're pointed at a light, probably not the best view. All right, hang on. I'm gonna figure out a view here. Hold, please hold. Let's see. I do have a tripod and clamps, so I can do anything if I put my mind to it. I've been meaning, I know you can all still hear me, I've been meaning to make a please hold technical difficulties screen that I can cut to, and just haven't gotten to it yet. So that's coming soon. Alright, let's see. Maybe we can look like right over my shoulder or something. I just don't want to be looking directly at a light, you know? Because that doesn't do you guys any favors. Oh, this even has a thing. Oh, man. Okay. Ignore the vertigo you're all about to have from this. Oh, that's good. Heck yeah. You guys are now attached to a great big tripod. Let's go. All stuff I could have done before we got started here, and yet here we are. Down and up and that way. All right, that might be a little bit better angle. We're going to see. We're going to find out. Don't look at the light. I can't help it. I love staring into the light. Give him the clamps. Okay. But yeah, this is very promising. This little color mix is looking very good. And if I can avoid doing a few coats, that means I won't have to remix it. I can just get it right this one time, and that will suffice. Let's see, how's our light there? Let's see. Kind of make that a little bit off of there, and then I'll turn on a couple of these behind me. We're going to figure out the lighting situation here, folks. Some backing light is really what we need here. Ah, the light. Wait, is that ah, the light like a relieved sound, or is that like, ah, the light? But yeah, I hope everyone who can get in the Discord, vote on what day we should do the meetup, and we will make it happen. And I will be announcing that very soon. Stay tuned to the Discord. I'm going to be using that for a lot of announcements and such. Nice little repository. One spot where everyone can look. Because everyone's scattered about social media and, you know, a post gets buried. But over on my Discord, I can pin things. And, you know, you can just come to look when you're looking for the stuff that I'm saying. Bring the camera up a touch so we can see. Ah, okay. I wasn't looking at where we were. Let's there we go. Let's. Oh, that just gets us further away. Let's maybe that'll do it. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I have no idea if it's going to focus or not, but you know, I'm at the mercy of inexpensive and sometimes borrowed webcams. So that'll be the next sub goal. We're gonna get me to buy a professional, nice, good camera for the stream. We're gonna fund the stream on your viewership. I'm like PBS, but I'm PVV. And yes, somewhere buried on my phone, I do have a PBS parody logo that says PVV. But it's from back when I was a rich guy, so it's the PBS guy, the little PBS like head, but he has a monocle. Yeah, that's buried on the phone somewhere. If you guys remind me, I'll show it. You know, if someone pops show a toy, I'll go find that old logo I made and show you. Because it feels like popping show a toy during this stream is a little silly, doesn't it? Like, that's literally all I'm doing. Like, the screen's flooded with toys right now. Although I am in the basement where there are just, I mean, crates of toys down here, so. And it's 50-50 if I hear the alert go off. I had to set this had to set this scene up very quickly, and I'm not sure if the audio will happen. I'm not sure if it'll be like doubled up with a bunch of like weird things happening in the audio. I don't know. It's risky that I even recommended it. Let's see. Excited to have space to get out some of my Ghostbusters and TMNT toys. Yo, let's go. My turtles, I need to build a shelf because I'm at a few dozen from the series in my collection, and I need a way to display them. I'm going to have to switch to a smaller brush to get into some of these little areas here. Adam67 says, I have an old Team Hot Wheels monster truck that has the little wing lip on the back. Thought about painting it to make it look like Alien or the Chi-Town Hustler. Yeah! Yeah, isn't that crazy that those are the same truck? It does make sense when you see like the very bizarre tires that they use. Like they did not use standard monster truck tires. They were those big, weird, wonky ones. My grandma on my dad's side ended up with them and kept them. She got them out last time. I was like, yo, that's amazing. Oh, next time you got those, you gotta snap some pictures, throw them up on the gram or something. Like, that's amazing. Yeah, I think that's gonna end up being a channel over on the Discord. I need a toy collection channel. Right now I have a toy making channel. Yeah, drop them in the Discord. Yeah, I'm gonna make a toy collection channel in there so we can all share our collections. 'Cause I know, folks got cool stuff. Like we all hear Bobby Gilbert talking about his toy collection. We know he's got some cool stuff. We just haven't seen it yet. All right, that's looking pretty good for like a first coat. How are we feeling about, oh, you know what? We gotta, let's see. Yeah, get that in the light. That's looking pretty good so far. All right. I am going to hit this with the old heat gun here. So that we can dry it off and then I can hit any areas that didn't get good coverage on the first round. Again, I can't recommend these little hobby grade heat guns well enough. It has a high and a low setting, and it's got a little kickstand, so I can set it down and it doesn't roll away. Need to unpack my Simpsons Burger King watches, yo. So I definitely still have, it's in one of the boxes here, an OG Michelangelo flip watch, the Ninja Turtle watches from the early 90s. Just got to find it, you know. There we go. All right, let's check. All right, we have power. Excellent. All right, warning to anyone who, like, you've all been hearing my space heater this whole time, but if you have an aversion to the sound of a heat gun, please forgive me for the next few seconds of your life. It won't last too long. Hey, Johnny Torres. The old heat gun. Johnny Torres, aren't you streaming right now? Oh, you wrapped early. Oh, okay. How was Mio? Joey Nails in the house. That's right, Joey Nails knows. What do we think? How do you think that snowplow came out, Joey Nails? Furthermore, since I know you drive the trucks, I got to show you. I'm going to hang this up so it can dry a little bit. I got to show you because you haven't been here yet. Because we didn't just design the snowplow for this thing. We also made the sanding bucket with the little disperser And look at this. Look at that. Look how perfect that is. I mean, come on, right? That's the next piece we're painting. But all of these have come out great. The camper attachment that we designed came out really nice if the truck holds together. This is I'm used to having the camera down low, but yeah, came out really slick. Lots of good details there. Journals, man, I can't wait to spend 3 hours cleaning salt out of that hopper, right? The old salt hopper. That's what they call Joey Nails. Old Joey Salt Hopper Nails. But yeah, really sits in there. Just super nice. Really pleased with that. Alright, this is the next piece we're painting. And I'm thinking I want to paint the whole thing, and the bottom is the only place I can hold it from. I'm tempted to put a little dab of some super glue with a popsicle stick and just so I can hold it. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll just hold it by the hopper, and I'll do that part after. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll make it easy on ourselves, and we'll just clip the old hopper in there. We'll paint around it. You got some clay. Yeah, clay would work too. I get upside down because I'm aiming for the camera, and as soon as the weight goes away from it, it just goes. All right, but we did mix up this really nice, construction vehicle yellow. Clay in one of the paintball. Yeah, that would absolutely do the trick. But this little Dollar Tree clamp, these come in a little 3-pack, and it's doing the trick right now. And I don't mind hitting that one piece again after. And it has silicone here, so if I get paint on it, it just comes right off. Katana 1988, welcome in. Welcome in. We are painting up some 3D designed custom add-ons for my die-cast monster truck collection. I might need a smaller brush for this to get into all the little nooks and crannies here. I definitely am. We're gonna switch to a smaller brush. I'll drop that in the water, and let's see which of these brushes is going to behave. Some of these have the chrome paint on them, and once that's on them, they're never much use anymore. All right, well, I got a big stack over here. Let's see, what do we got? Let's see, this one's pretty good. Yeah, this one might work. Is this gonna... Yeah, that'll give us the fine point we need. Hey, Joey Nails. Joey Nails with the watch streak. Let's go. We up to how many was that? Currently on a 3 stream. Let's go. Welcome back, Joey Nails. Welcome back into the fold. Joey Nails out there booked all the dang time. Gonna be hard for him to make it to the Monster Jam meetup that he basically funded. That's not fair. A bunch of people subbed. Nickabeans subbed. Rye subbed. There were some gift subs given out by Nickabeans. There's a lot of folks making it happen. The last ones that pushed us over the line were Joey Nails for sure, though. Joey Nails throwing those bits, sending those alerts off all the time. Coming in and just showing off all of Daddy Bacabella's money. Joey Nails is the anti-Dennis Stamped. He's always booked. He's too booked, Perry. Well, you know, I was telling Nickabeans last night. We were having a conversation on DM, and I was saying how nice it was that Joey Nails came in and just set the stream ablaze 2 nights in a row, and I actually sent her a link to one of his matches. Joey Nails had a match with Aiden Agro up in Maine a couple of months back. That myself and Rip Bison were present for. And we had seen Joey Nails when he was very, very new. We ran some seminars up in Maine for the Limitless Dojo. And we saw him when he was very green. And there was potential there, but when you're green, you're green. You know, there's no there's no shame in it, but there's also no getting around it. You know, when you're green, you're green. So when we saw that, you know, it was maybe a year later, maybe a little less, he was main eventing a show in Maine. You know, we both wanted him to do well, but we were, you know, we knew we had to keep an eye on it. We were like, let's see what goes on here. And we told Joey at the time, so I don't mind saying it here with him watching. He knocked it out of the park. He had a great match with Aggro. And, you know, it's easy for, like, you know, you'll hear a lot of old timers say, oh, well, a good wrestler can have a good match with anybody. Aggro's just a real pro. And Aggro is absolutely a pro. But that's not what happened in that match. There were a lot of key moments where there was space and separation, where the moment was left to Joey to keep it together and to make moments work. And Joey had good timing. He picked his moments. He remembered what he had to do and had a great performance. And like I say, me and Rip told him as much right then. We told Randy as much too. And I do hope Joey's proud of that match, because he should be. But yeah, I shared that out to Nicka Beans because it was a great performance, and I think more people should see it because it was very good. And Joey Nails is still so early in his career to have the kind of promise where he can have a great main event match. Really something. Like anyone could have a good match with Giant Gonzalez. Hey. You leave Giant Gonzalez out of this. How dare you? Oh, God, what was his WCW name? Man, it's my favorite match so far by far. Hey, you know, and the thing is, you're so new. You're so new. It's your favorite match when you say so far. That's a really important part of what... Yes, El Gigante. Saying it's your favorite match so far is a very important part of that thought. Because as good as it is, you will have better. You'll have worse. You'll have better. You think of the worst match you've ever had thus far, you'll have worse than that. It'll happen. I'm sure I have not yet had the worst match of my career, and I'm certain I have not yet had the best match of my career. Both are on the horizon. Okay, this is looking pretty good coverage here. Again, I don't need to paint the bottom. You'll never see that. That's going to be kind of like glued down. And I did sort of a rough up job in between the mounds of dirt here. I'll do a cleaner job on the edges when I paint that brown. Remember when I did that seminar with you and Rip and I was the only one who didn't puke? Yeah, holy crap, man. There were people there who've been on shows for a while who could not get through a simple workout. First favorite match should be with your trainer, and it certainly was, wasn't it? I don't know if my first favorite match... It was a long time before I had a match I felt was like something I was really proud of. But that might be more the result of the attitudes of our old trainers, Torres. Our trainers really raised us to be sort of self-hating. I think it was a big reflection of how they felt about themselves. Because looking back on it, they were not fans of their own work. Let's see, have a match with Mabel? You just hope you don't get a broken face or something. Oh, man, I love Mabel. I mean, he's not great. I'll give you that. All right, I'm going to hit this with the heat gun, so apologies for the noise. Let's because I'm doing all this crafting stuff, let's actually talk a little bit the strategy with the heat gun here. I do it on the high setting. The high setting will peel paint off of stuff, but I do it from a ways away. I keep, somewhere between 8 and 10 inches away, and I keep it moving at all times so it's never just heating one spot all at once. And you can tell with these acrylic paints, because they are all flat paints, they end up very flat. There's no shine to them. When that glisten that you sort of see there goes away, that's when it's dry or mostly dry. So it has visual cues. Yes, should be. It got him his spot in the ministry because Taker didn't want to work him again. Oh, that's true. Shout out to Mabel and Charlie Haas in All Japan. Yo, for real. Man, people don't know. People who aren't friends with Johnny Torres and Troy Nelson don't know nothing about obscure wrestling. They think they do. They got nothing. They don't know. They got a lot to learn. If you're not reaching out to Troy Nelson and Johnny Torres for match recommendations, and that's coming from me. I'm older than both of them. I've been watching wrestling longer than both of them, strictly because I'm older than them. And I've been wrestling longer than Troy wrestled. And Johnny Torres and I started wrestling at the same time. I should be on like maybe equal footing with them. I can't keep up. I gotta just reach out when the time comes. Thank you for sharing the Discord. That's right. I'm gonna make a Discord channel on there just for obscure wrestling matches, and we can share YouTube links. That's good thinking. We gotta get Troy Nelson. Nada. We gotta get Troy Nelson on Discord. Get him sharing some stuff on the channel. Okay, that's pretty close to dry. And now what I'm doing every time I do that is then I get a nice close look and I get an idea of just how much of a second coat I'm going to do. This is going to need a second coat for sure. I don't know if it comes across on camera, but there are some sort of light areas where the coverage is not quite as good as I would like. But it's off to a very strong start. So I'm going to set that out of the way for now. Hang it up to dry. Let that hang for a bit. I'm just going to share old Maine indies for people to cringe at. Ring rubs hands together. Oh, come on. Can we try to share some good stuff? I mean, like, the bad stuff's great too. Bad stuff is also wicked fun, you know, but maybe we need two channels. We need a bad wrestling channel and like a study this channel. Okay. So I think I want to keep moving with these parts for now. We'll come back to the Samson truck later. I think maybe we start with the camper. I think we work on the beige color for the camper because it's going to take some time to dry. And this is one where there's no real place to grip it. I don't think I can get a clamp onto this anywhere. So I'm going to need to do like a blob of hot glue and a stick here. So I think that's what we're going to have to do there. This one, I might be able to like put a clamp on one end and kind of work around it. I think that'll work. It can be both. Talk amongst yourselves. I have to grab the hot glue gun, assuming I even remember where the heck it lives. I don't have to pull it out very often. Yes, it was right here. Let's go. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these popsicle sticks and snap it to a length that I deem usable. And then I'm just going to, I think just about like that. I'm going to hot glue it so that I can just hold it and work with it. Now that does mean that I won't be able to hit it with the heat gun because the heat gun will melt the hot glue and everything will fall. Let's see. There he is gone. Man, that booger has been bothering me. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I believe it. It's cold in this basement. My nose is probably running. My nose is doing more cardio right now than I've done in months. All this running. All right, let's see here. What can I unplug? I guess I can unplug the heat gun in lieu of plugging in the hot glue gun. There we go. Okay, so while that's warming up, we can work on mixing up our beige color. Perisicle. Perisicle sticks. Fair enough. Chikara showed us that the good, the bad, and the ugly can take place in one. Boy, did they. A lot of companies kind of worked hard to show us that, didn't they? All right. So for this, I'm going to need white. I'm going to take some white, and I think maybe if we go with this sort of same, like, kind of dim golden-ish color and some white, maybe somewhere between there is roughly the what I call like, 50s camper beige. Also not to make it about me, but when Rip immediately grabbed my shoulders and got in my face to tell me how well I did, I was scared and happy at the same time. Either way, still almost cried. Rip's happy energy is real similar to his "I'm gonna murder you" energy. I think even he would agree with that. I don't think he would think that that was an unfair thing for me to say. All right. That's still got to heat up, so let's get to mixing some paint up here. This is going to be a difficult color to kind of hit, so I'm willing to get it wrong. Can't wait till you wrestle him. It's time. Oh God. Even I kind of dread wrestling Rip. I always assume I'm going to get hurt, which is crazy. I've wrestled him a billion times, and he's only hurt me a few times. All right. So we're going to put in solid blobule of white. And now we're going to creep up on this other color here. I just want to do like 1 to 2 drops, and then we'll mix it and see what happens. Because I know that those colors can overtake the white real fast. Yeah, that's getting closer. Because it really is somewhere between an off-white and like a pure beige. Oh, that's pretty close. We'll do one more. Come on. There it goes. I have to clean that lid off. I think that ought to do it. That's looking pretty nice and off-white beigey. And I think when I start to put it on the actual thing, because this is as pure white as it gets. This resin is white. And Chikara was such a fun trip. Shame it ate itself from the inside multiple times. Multiple times it ate itself from the inside. And now we just sort of have remnants scattered across a few different promotions. I wrestled for one of those promotions not long ago. Power Pro Lucha is sort of like a Chikara remnants, some folks trying to pick up the pieces. I wrestled there back in November. Teamed with Rip in a four-way match. Four-way tag match. Alright. Okay. Well, I can tell our hot glue gun's going because it's dripping, so that's a good start. And I'm going to get us a solid blob here. And stick it on down. And we'll be able to just peel that off after, which is one of the reasons I like working with hot glue. It's easy to remove after. It's not permanent if you don't want it to be. Fun use for hot glue. Down here in the basement, all the walls here are concrete. And they're always pretty cold. So when you watch my workout clips and you see all my monster truck stuff up on the wall, all my frames hung up on the wall in my gym, I hung hooks up with hot glue because on concrete it works really well. Tell the grind team I'll only work for them if I get to play with the cats after. Everyone plays with the cats after. It's one of the best parts of doing grind. Most viewed clip of my time in wrestling is me being crushed by the Rad Pro Wrestling promoter. Oh, that's right, Max Smashmaster. I I watched that off of a totally legal and purchased and paid for digital copy like a week after it happened. Because I heard that you were on it. And out in California, I was like, I have to see this. And I recognized so many people that were involved in that moment right away. Because you had Sydney Bacabella managing, old Joey Bacabella's Poppy, managing the tag team that crushed you. And then you were in the match, and Smashmaster, I've known for years, was in the match. So I had to see it. And so 3,000 miles away, I was sitting there watching it and just going, oh my God, they killed Johnny Torres. All right, we got our beige, which I think is looking pretty beigey. And we got our camper stuck to a popsicle stick. Just like a real camper. All right, and I just want to get coverage kind of everywhere with this because we're gonna hit all the details later with some chrome and what have you. But for now, oh yeah, that's the beige business. For now, I just want to make sure everything is covered. And I'm not going to bother going inside the windows because I'm going to end up hitting that with a different color later. Yeah. Oh, that's looking good. Very vintage. Please send me a link to that. I would say I'll bring it up and show it on stream, but when I'm in the basement with my different setup here, a little bit harder for me to do screen stuff. Oh yeah, that's looking how I want it to look. That's what I'm talking about. That is the beige. We found a first try on this beige. I am very pleased with that. I thought I might have to do some remixing, but we got it on the first try. So fully outside of kayfabe, Joey Nails, I hope on these car rides with Sydney Bacabella that you're learning a lot. Early on in my career, I was fortunate enough to have a very long car ride with Sydney Bacabella going to wrestle in Chicago. We drove from NCW in Dedham, Mass., same building they still run today, all the way through the night to Chicago to wrestle the next afternoon. And I was the person in the passenger seat who stayed up with Sydney the entire night while Sydney did the entire drive on his own, while everyone else slept. I'm learning so much and can't wait to ride with him, AG, and Channing to the next show. That's a carload. How soon is AG cleared to wrestle again? Because I know he just got his nose like badly broken, like needed surgery and stuff. Over in was he in India? Now he's broken his nose in a fourth place, the patio. Should be a comedy actor. Yeah, AG's face got all messed up. He had a very gruesome post on his Instagram of it. No idea what happened. I mean, obviously, I presume it happened in a match. Not like he didn't like trip and fall or something, or makes, I don't know, maybe he pissed someone off. I don't know. He's got a mask, so I think he'll be good soon. Oh man, Well, I hope he's takes proper cautions. Never needed surgery, but I've had 3 creases in my septum. Oh, I never needed surgery. I had a fractured nose when I was very young, and I'm certain I broke it again at one point in the ring. My septum is most certainly deviated. But who among us doesn't have a deviated septum? Am I right? All right, that's looking pretty good for now. I'm gonna need to hit that top again, but I think if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna put the I'm gonna have to hang this up and just let it dry on its own. Like I could hold it in front of my space heater maybe, but I don't know. I'm a little worried that it's gonna melt the hot glue and everything will drop. Seeing that camper piece. Spaceballs the monster truck. Pretty soon we're going to have Spaceballs the Perry. It's a project that Nickabeans has been working on for a little while. So there's similar things a coming. See, did I drop that in here? Oh, I did. I put it in the water. Didn't mean to do that. Oh, that's okay. Now I'm interested to know. Usually, when I'm doing these streams, Nickabeans is also working on some craft stuff.
No denying the heart, no denying how important this matchup is. As now Ryan Mooney on the shoulders.
The crucifix. Where'd we go?
There we go. Joey Nails with the 360 bits, throwing that merry-go-round up. Did we get the audio on that? Did everyone hear the audio? Everything came through okay? Trying to make sure everything came through all right, because I know it can be a bit finicky. Loud and clear. Hell yeah. Good. Thank you, Joey Nails. I do have I was able to set some channel goals. I got a bit goal of 5,000. Very ambitious. Joey Nails getting us rolling with 360. We also have some sub goals and things all listed on the channel there. And I will come up with appropriate awards if we cross any more sub goals. We've been crushing it lately. Channel's been crushing it. Everyone playing their part. Thank you so much. See, Joey Nelson says, you got any new gear in the works? Not at the moment. My gear maker, who would remain nameless, except I've talked about it on the channel before, it's Delmy. Delmy's been very busy making new gear for her and Rip. So it could be a little while before I have any fresh gear. But, that's all right. I'm not gonna fret for the moment. I do have some ideas for new gear, but once she frees up, I might reach out and talk to her about some ideas there. All right. I've been trying to get into it. Got a sewing machine. I have a sewing machine. I'm not bad with it, but I'm not great at doing like functional pieces. Having something that's like elastic, like gear has to be, very complicated. It's very hard. The big tricks that I've learned, you know what? Put something in the Discord. We'll make like a crafting channel on the Discord. I got to start taking notes about all the new channels I need to make. Because I can share some clips of Adam Savage from the Mythbusters on his tested YouTube channel doing some sewing projects, because he doesn't have a really good background in sewing. So he was using both the expertise of friends and his own sort of intuition in the maker space to kind of teach himself how to do it. And he came up with some hacks that I really liked. Like, instead of using pins to hold stuff together, he had these little clip clamps. They're almost like little mini chip clips, like not far off from like one of these. And he was using that to hold pieces together. And he was saying, the whole trick here is to just go slow. If you go slow, you don't screw up, because as you go, you can readjust and fix things. Thank you, Adam. Adam NXX7 is going to be the official note taker of the channel. He was our timekeeper when we were doing time runs on BeamNG, so it fits the brand. Crafting channel, toy sharing channel, food channel, Weird Al channel. Okay, music channel. Yeah, I think novelty music would probably be the overarching thing. So this is the next one we're going to work on. This one's going to be a lot of little finicky bits, and we're going to have to pick some colors for it. But I did want to show, I do have another thing I need to paint. This is, my brother does tabletop gaming with some of his friends. And he's playing this game that's essentially, this is the little base for it. It's like, I think it's Warhammer, but they play football, if that sounds familiar to anybody. And there's this little figure, I don't know if it'll focus on it. He's in like the Heisman pose in the middle of throwing a football. It's like this this dwarf elf thing. He gave me a list of some sort of color recommendations. It's a 3D printed piece that he ordered from somebody, and I'm gonna at some point paint that. Blood Bowl. Okay, yeah, I knew Joey Nails would know. And at some point, I'm gonna paint this on stream because it's so finicky. It's gonna drive me nuts. I just got to find a really good camera angle for it. But yeah, my brother just got into that. He's got a really extensive set of those. It's his entire like team of those, and he just gave me one. He was like, "If you want to try doing one, here's one." And I was like, "Yeah, I can give it a shot." But for now, speaking of finicky, we're gonna work on the ride truck piece, and for that, I'm probably gonna have to break out some of the smaller brushes, some of my actual like nice brushes. I got these sets of these things that I ordered that are much nicer. That one's a little bit too fine. I don't need that much detail. Probably like this one, I think, is going to be our go-to. I have a full unbuilt set in a bin right now. Oh, okay, all right. So then you also have something similar. Let's see, Perry, we got to play Risk of Rain 2. Is that like Risk? Is that the game of world domination? Am I way off? All right, so
You can't give up. You gotta stand right up. You gotta run to a window and say, "Hey, these floors are dirty as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore."
On. Oh man, UHF rules. All right. Yeah, all right. So I think, let's see, yeah, this fine tip one, I should be able to do the chairs on their own. So we're going to keep this set just aside. And I'm going to go with one that I already had out. Yeah, I'm going to go with one that I already had out. Do a little cleaning on that. It's a little gunked up from having not been properly cleaned after the last time I used it. Oh, this one's better for the chairs. Olay, it's Joe time. Joey Nails throwing the bits left and right, making all the alerts sound. Giving us a show here. Let's see. So, okay, I think what I want to do is I want to take this one, and we're going to use this for our main colors here. What do we think? Guys, I need some input here. This is our de facto ride truck, this little yellow party truck. I think we probably don't have the ride thing match it because ride pieces are often add-ons to old trucks and they rarely bother to paint them to match. I think there's really sort of three pieces to this in terms of color. There's this bottom frame piece, right? The bottom, this piece, the whole bottom that runs along behind the seats and everything. That's like the big chunky metal part that makes it up.
Would a coward have this?
What the hell is that?
These are my words, Mother. From Army. The seal is for marksmanship, and the gorilla is for sand racing.
The gorilla is for sand racing. Thank you, Joey Nails. Throwing them all out here. So local CD video game DVD store has UHF 25th Anniversary Edition DVD in stock at the shop near me. $7.99. $7.99? Pick one up and send it to me. That's a great deal. I didn't have the 25th anniversary. I had the first time it was out on DVD, which was incredible. They did a bunch of new stuff for the next one. We do need I'm a Monster, because I'm a monster truck is the obvious Perry joke. All right, so we want this to maybe not totally match, and I'm thinking like a darker color is going to be the move on this. So I'm kind of thinking What if the metal on this is red, like a fire engine red? The seats we can do in like a black. You know, those will be just like some crappy like bolt-on seats. And then I think the protective pieces here, maybe we do like a purple, because I'm seeing some purples and reds in the design on this truck, and I think that would just match enough. Let's see. I'll see how many they have. Maybe I go over there tomorrow over my lunch hour. Yo, check it out for me. Hey. Check it out. All right, so yeah, I think we go purple for the or red for the base parts, purple for the padded parts, black for the seats. So let's hit the red first. Yeah, we're gonna do the red first.
But in this business of show, you have to have the heart of an angel and the hide of an elephant.
But you've never actually had an audition.
Well, excuse me. Excuse me.
I'm so glad I kept the weeping in the shower on that clip. All right, all right. Joey Nails, continuing to make it rain. Now, Joey Nails, you have a 3D printer. So I want tell us about tell us in the chat a little bit. What's your experience been? You got a if I recall correctly, you got a Mars 3 Pro, Mars 4 Pro, something like that. I know I have the Mars 3 Pro. I think you got a slightly newer one, but it was the Elegoo Mars resin printer. It's the smaller of my two resin printers. You got a slightly newer version of it. Am I recalling that correctly, Joey Nails? Got to be one of the best scene cuts. I'm so glad that I kept that in there. The weeping in the shower is so good. All right, and let's see. We might even just leave this red how it comes out. Oh yeah, that's yeah, that'll do it. Boy, is that red enough for me? Is that red enough for my liking? Do I want to go darker with that? Let's compare it to the truck. I think that's actually really nice. All right, see, admittedly, haven't used it much, haven't had the chance to, or drive to really get it down. Had some issues with it actually printing. Eventually, I'll get back out and run. Yeah, there's a learning curve up front with all 3D printing, absolutely, and getting discouraged or getting busy and having to set it aside, perfectly normal. When the projects come, and they will come, you'll have ideas for things you want to work on. You'll have something you need. When they come, you'll be able to put it together quickly. You'll be able to make everything happen relatively quickly, because the little bit of fussing around you did with it, the difficulties you ran into early, are important parts of the learning process. Those struggles suck, and if you get past them eventually and stick with it, that's really the only difference between someone who picks something up and never finishes it and someone who gets good at a thing. It's the same thing as wrestling. If you can get past all the setbacks and all the things that kind of suck up front, you're gold. Like Torres and I have talked about this a lot, where I feel like the only...
But in this business of show, you have to have the heart of an angel and the hide of an elephant.
But you've never actually had an audition.
Well, excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, Tobias, you blowhard. All right. Trying to make sure I actually keep this on camera here, because it's so easy for me to forget. It's showtime. Oh, Nickabean's redeemed show a toy. All right. I think I talked about one I was gonna break out, but maybe I'll just pick one at random because there's so many down here. Give me 1 second just to. All right, because I can set the brush down, and I can do one of my favorite tricks. This is one of my favorite tricks for when you have a piece that's clamped that you just need to set down for a second. Put another clamp together so they kind of clamp to each other, and it gives them 4 points, and it just stands like a table. Come on, what a life hack! You kidding me? You kidding me? Oh, I'm sorry. What were you and Torres talking about? We were talking about. Oh, right. How I really do feel like one of the real keys to success is just continuing to do a thing, and it's true in wrestling and in many other things. But if you stick around long enough, eventually you kind of just become successful. Like, it just kind of happens. You become someone who's been around, who ends up being sort of respected. And as long as you're not like a dick, right? As long as you're not a dick or like the worst person to ever do the thing you're doing, if you do it long enough, eventually you make it. So that stick-to-itiveness, just seeing it through the rough patches and the boring patches, that's harder. The rough patches, you can like, you can get a little bit of motivation in that, but the times when it's boring, that's hard. That's really hard. Okay, hang on. I'm grabbing a toy to show. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing a twofer here. We're doing a double here. Because, so I do collect Ninja Turtle toys, the old classic Ninja Turtle toys. And forever, I didn't have a foot soldier. Like, just didn't have a foot soldier. They were hard to find. And then when all the re-releases happened, they were still really hard to find. And then at a tag sale, I found one complete with all the weapons, just sitting in a pile. And I asked the guy how much, and he said $2. So I have, this is an original. This isn't a reprint. This is an OG on the back, 1988 TMNT Playmates foot soldier in pristine condition. Like, nothing's marred on it. It's beautiful. But we have $2, and this is a double show. So we've got the foot soldier. That's half of what we're talking about. Also at the same table. It's not complete. I have to find some files for some of the missing parts, but it's nearly complete. All the stickers are there. The foot ski. It's the vehicle that the foot soldiers could ride. He happened to have this. It's only missing, like, there's like a missile that goes here, and there's like one little flag that comes out of this hole. And that's all that's missing. Otherwise, all the stickers are there. Turtles Overboard, shredded license plate. I no heart turtles. Like these funny bumper stickers on it. Sewer gas. I mean, come on. How totally dope does it look with the foot soldier in the foot ski? Like, that's awesome, right? So yeah, the foot ski, he gave me for free because he also had a couple monster trucks I bought, and he was just happy I was buying stuff. So this entire, what you're seeing here, cost me $2 American in the year 2025. It was just this past summer that I picked this up. Yeah, so that's my show of toy. All right, I'm gonna put this back where it won't get knocked over. I have a huge pile of Ninja Turtle toys, some of which are still in the package that I need to open up, but I need to make a shelf for all of them to be on display because I have probably 15 or 16 on a shelf upstairs. They're getting very dusty. It's not a covered shelf. I like all my shelves to have like an acrylic front or a glass front so that stuff isn't getting all dusty. Those ones don't have it, so they're getting dusty. They're going to need to be cleaned when I make the new shelf. It's on my list to eventually make a shelf for that. It just, at this point, it's not really a stream if Nickabeans doesn't pop a show a toy, huh? Like that's become like, I feel like that's one of those things you just wait for now. You're like, when's it coming? But yeah, yeah, I think really like there was a, you know, I've had, I won't name names because some of them are folks that we know, but there's some young wrestlers who have come to me and said they were debating whether they wanted to keep wrestling, and they were still so new. And essentially what I tell them is, you know, if wrestling's genuinely making you unhappy and it's making you like wrestling less, yeah, like take a break from it, stop doing it altogether. Either one is fine. Perfectly valid thing to do. Like really. For the sake of one's own mental health, absolutely. But the difficult times come, but they also go. And if you don't see them through, if you don't stick around, Joey Nails was one of them, and I was specifically not naming him because he's here, but if he's going to out himself, I'll say he's one of them. And what I told Joey Nails was, you know, yeah, there are going to be times in wrestling where wrestling really sucks. It's like it really is like anything else. There's times at your day job that it really sucks. There's times doing art projects where it really sucks. There's times doing 3D printing where it really sucks. Stuff isn't working. Stuff's breaking. You waste a bunch of materials. You cut yourself with an X-Acto blade and bleed all over yourself while you're trying to stream. Yeah, that totally happened to me. It's buried somewhere on my YouTube channel, but it's there. Those things absolutely happen, but you can't, bare minimum, don't go out on a down note. When you're at that point, do like one more thing. Do one more thing. Have one more success. Then take your break. Because if you let something going wrong mar a thing that you like, that you might have done long term and enjoyed, might have excelled at, you're doing yourself a disservice. So like, it never hurts to try a thing a little bit more. That said, anyone who says they want to quit wrestling or 3D printing or whatever, streaming, I never tell them not to do it, because you never have the full story. No matter how much they tell you, you don't have the full story. There could be some very, very good reasons that they want to stop. And telling someone not to is, without having every bit of information, not a good thing to do. It's, you know, I know only a Sith deals in absolutes, the irony of which being that sentence is an absolute. But it's true, you know. If someone comes to me for advice on something like that, which Joey Nails did, I'll say, I give them advice, but I try not to, I won't phrase it in a telling them what to do kind of way. Because what do I know? I'm just some dude. You know, it's not my place to make those kinds of decisions for someone else. I'm barely capable of making those decisions for me. So, you know, not going to sit here and pretend I know better than someone else does for their own life. But I do think, with the rare exceptions, almost everything, it's always worth giving whatever it is another shot. You know? Doing something one more time to see, oh, is this still, do I still not like this? Am I doing better at this? You know, where am I with this? I don't think you ever do yourself a disservice by giving something one more try. That said, and I've told this story before, when I was a trainer in California, I did straight up tell one of the students, you've got to stop coming here. And it was because he was getting hurt a lot. He had been training for years before I came in, and he was not getting any better. I did not really see a lot of hope for him. And he was very young. He was like 19. And his 18-year-old girlfriend had just gotten pregnant with their first child. And I was like, look, man, you're about to have way bigger things going on than this. And putting your health at risk for a dream that, if I'm fair to you, I don't think is going to work out. I think it's an irresponsible thing. I'm not going to kick you out of here and tell you you can't come back, but I am going to tell you that you shouldn't. And that was where I left it. I got yelled at by the owner of that company for chasing his students away. He didn't care what was going on in that kid's life. He just wanted money to pay rent on the building, which I get. He's running a business. He's not a therapist, but also kind of scuzzy. And shortly thereafter, I did quit on him. I said, I will not be training for you anymore. And I also stopped wrestling for him. I told him I also won't do your shows. And some of the students were sad to see me go, and I recommended them some other schools they could go to. And I'm happy to say a couple of those students went to some other schools, got some very good training, and have gone on to do some pretty good things. One of those students was a young Shotzi Blackheart who's gone on to do a lot of great things. So, you know, you're getting some deep Perry lore tonight. We're talking the old days in California. You old men and your weird connections. Hey, I mean, the thing is, like, Shotzi's not even my oldest connection who's made it big. I mean, like, we all know from out here, we all know Christian Casanova, whose WWE name I always forget. Your friend's writing a horror movie with Shotzi. That's awesome. That's so... actually, my friend, Derek Acosta from Mega 64, just launched his Kickstarter earlier today for his new horror movie. I shared it out on my Instagram story. I backed it as soon as it went up. He also released a horror comic anthology last year that was very cool. I have a digital copy. I need to get a hard copy at some point. But yeah, he's one of the guys from Mega 64, and he's doing some really cool solo projects, which all of them have great solo projects. Probably my favorite is Rocco. Oh yes, Carmelo Hayes. That's right. Hey, someday Joey's going to be the one with all the lore. Who knows? A few years from now, I might be sitting here on stream going, I remember Joey Nails back before he got signed or whatever it is he ends up doing that gets him super famous and rich. We could be talking about him in the exact same way I'm talking about Shotzi, or I talk about Bailey, or we talk about Carmelo Hayes. You know, we write the lore so you can read it. It gets passed on. It's important it get passed on. You know, there's a few things I believe about lore and backstories and such. And one of the ones I think is most important is that you never let the truth get in the way of a good story. You know, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. Truth is boring. There's a Bo Burnham bit where he says, where he's talking about the comics who say, this thing really happened to me. It's like, cool. I could give a shit if a thing really happened to you. If you're telling a story or being a comedian, entertain me. I don't give a shit if what happened is real. Why would I possibly care about that? If I want something that's real, I'll go read an encyclopedia or watch a documentary. It's going to be dropping karaoke bombs every episode. Commentator here, nope. Is that nope to the never let the truth get in the way of a good story? Do you insist everything be real, or are you agreeing with me? It's tricky with the lag on the chat. I'm like, oh no, have I gone off the reservation? Is Torres telling me I'm way missing the plot here? Yep, only truth. Oh yeah, right, yeah. If I know anything from Johnny Torres's commentary, it is nothing but straight real life facts. Nothing is ever embellished, made up on the spot, or untrue. He certainly would never make up names for people. Ever. Ever. He would never insist that Fresh Youngman's first name wasn't Fresh, that it was something else, and that Fresh was a nickname. What is it that you decided Fresh Youngman's first name is? Like, even I don't remember, and it's the character I portray. Alright, I think what I want to do is... Yeah, let's grab this up here. Let go down there. And now I can get the last bit of this. And we can hang this up so it can dry, and we can take a look at some of the parts that were drying before, because we should be able to touch back on them now. Ferdinand. Frederico. Fred. Philippe. Francisco. Francisco is the name of one of the most famous Disneyland cats. For those unaware, Disneyland, not Disney World, but Disneyland, has a huge cat population that lives in the parks. And the irony being, if you've ever wondered why they don't get rid of them, since, you know, they poop everywhere and they eat stuff and they do cause some trouble, the answer, the ironic answer, is that those cats keep the mouse population at bay. That's right, for the mice. The irony that a company where Walt tells us specifically, yeah, you never see any when you're there. You don't see them. They you know, like many cats, they really don't try to come out. But if you know where to look, there's a few spots, and I've seen them many times. There's accounts on Instagram that document them. All right, there's our. We got the red part painted on this. Next, we'll do the seats are going to be black, and then the bars are going to be purple. But I have to let this dry, so I'm going to hang it up. Hang it on up. All right, and let's get a look at the first piece we were working on, the snowplow, and see if we need to do any touching up before our snowplow yellow dries up. But yeah, the irony that in a company where Walt always reminds us that it's important to never lose sight of one thing, it was all started with a mouse. That they keep an army of cats around to keep the mice at bay. You know? I would say you can't write stuff like that, but you probably could. I don't know why you would. It already exists. It's real. Yeah, we can start hitting our second layer here. Ooh, stiff brush, no good. No good, no good. All right, how's this? Yeah, this one's going to be the one. This one's much softer. Need a nice soft brush if we're going over a layer we already did, because we don't want to scrape that up. Cat juggling. I've heard of this. The bridge mix. The bridge mix. Let's see. If I'd known, I'd be doing secret pss, pss, pss all over. Yeah. So there is one very famous Disney cat in over in the California Adventure area by the Grizzly Peak area named Francisco. It's a little fluffy torty guy. He's a favorite of locals at the park. They all love Francisco. Francisco will come right up to the gate and get pets and stuff. All right, that's better. Yeah, we needed a slightly softer brush to come on here for this second layer. Yeah, this is looking good. This is looking pretty good. Pretty good. I don't need to hit everything with this, just the areas where it looks like it's pretty light, because we did get pretty solid coverage on the first round. I am probably going to insist on hitting all of this with a clear coat later. Just so that, you know, we don't have We don't have anything trying to chip later on. You know, when I'm playing with my toys. Francisco, you are not allowed on this ride until you give me the required pets. Gotta pay the Francisco tax before you go on the Grizzly River Rapids. Hey, no flume ride for you until you pet the cat. But yeah, they have entire staff and vet staff that take care of the cats there. And a lot of staff, when the cats get a little bit older, they will capture the cats. Oh. Hey, Joey Nails. When they get a little bit older, they will... Is that an innuendo? Innuendo. Sorry, I'm really looking forward to the Scrubs reboot. Sequel? Continuation? I don't know what it is. I don't know what we would call it. But it starts next Wednesday, and I'm very excited. The heck was I talking about? Something about Disney parks? I don't know. An alert went off, and I got distracted. I saw a shiny object, and... Oh, right, yeah. Probably going to clear coat these. I think it's the right thing to do. And I can give it that very toy sort of shine by giving it like a gloss or semi-gloss look. All right, yeah, looking pretty good. One thing I really do like about these acrylics, I haven't been thinning them on stream here, but I do keep some water in the brush when I pull it out of the cleaning. So when I put it down there, the paint gets a little thinner, so it runs into all the spots where there wasn't solid coverage before without leaving brush strokes. See, if I get rich, I'm turning Perry into a dancing puppet with my bits. Hey, man, that's the life of a performer. You know? It's what Bo Burnham says. Dance, monkey, dance. That's what they say to the comedian, to the performer. You got enough bits flying. I'm here. I will karaoke. I mean, hell, if you're looking for toys, Joey Nails, I do have, I'm sure the thing went by. Yeah, the major bit alerts. I see it just up above on the chat. I will send a mystery box of toys from my collection and some trading cards from my collection to the lucky winner that pops that, what did we say it was? 3,000 bits. It's very expensive. I think I have an alert set for that too. I certainly hope I do for how expensive that is. It's very expensive. Hey, Omega Club 6, let's go! Yo, Perry, you got to win Saturday. Azure got nothing on you. Give him some Perry bombs. That's right. He's gonna catch some airtime off of Perry Go Round. We're gonna let Azure get some frequent flyer miles saved up. He can take a nice trip to a Disney park, chill out a little bit. He's been all worked up and freaked out and seemingly pretty stressed. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. That's probably got it for the yellow coat on here. Our beautiful snowplow attachment for the monster truck, looking really nice. I'm gonna keep this out because I do have another piece we need to recoat with some yellow here. Let's go ahead and clip this on up here on the drying rack. I need to revamp my drying rack, you guys. It was never meant to be permanent, but the big piece on the drying rack here, I'm gonna move the camera so y'all can see. The big piece on my drying rack that everything hangs on here is just a stretched rubber band between two pieces of wood, and that rubber band is at the end of its time. It is crusted and dying, and one day it's just going to drop everything. So I gotta do that at some point. Beautiful Snowplow, new band name, called it. Beautiful Snowplow would be a great name for like an indie garage rock band. Something I'm thinking something with a little some synthesizer, you know, like something like a Postal Service or a Neutral Milk Hotel. I think that would be a good name for a band in that world. Boy, those are some bands I really don't listen to enough these days. Love Neutral Milk Hotel. When we were young, we were the king of carrot flowers. When my wife and I were moving back, they cover the Killers. I'm here for it. Oh hell yeah! Doesn't matter what song. Doesn't matter who. When we were moving back across the country from California and we were making the drive, at the time, I was very unfamiliar with Postal Service and Neutral Milk Hotel. Like, I knew their names only, and I think I'd heard a couple Postal Service songs. But my wife had their albums on her iPod at the time. It was still we were still rocking iPods. So I made the decision. I was like, hey, let's wizen me up to this. Let's throw it on. And that was what we listened to for most of the drive. And it was at a time when I was focusing a lot more on my music with my fake band. It's not a fake band. It's a band that I've never done a lot of public associating with. I think I've mentioned it on stream before, but it's one where you can look up the music I made if you can find it. And I wanted it to be weird. I wanted it to have like an indie flair. I wanted a lot of like electric sounds, a lot of synth. And those bands were a great example of that. Realist Sandwich. It was not Hydraulic Sandwich. That was my old high school punk band. That was God, I don't even want to say how long before that, but it was like, 15 years earlier. Hydraulic Sandwich was 2002. And we were moving back here in 2017, so yeah, it was 15 years earlier. And now I've been back here for 8 years. I am a builder. Oh my God, Joey Nails. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Oh my God. All right. We popped a karaoke. Oh my God. All right. Thankfully, I just finished the Coat of Yellow on this, so we can hang that up. And we're going to do a karaoke. Let's see. How are we doing on time on this stream? Oh boy, karaoke might be what we end with here. Oh my God. All right, hold on. I got to move some stuff around. We got to...
Bobby, Al Yankovic blew his brains out in the late 80s after people stopped buying his records.
All right. Hang on. We're going to make this happen. This is going to be complicated because this setup is not my usual. So please hold. All right, hang on. We're doing this. This is...
Kong would have to do the work.
Yes, King Kong. Awesome Kong, in effect. Oh my God, we beat our bit goal. We beat the bit goal. We are at level 2.
I yelled at him. Come on, surrender or Kong would attack again.
Oh my God, Joey Nails making it all happen here. All right, I got everything drying over there. Okay, we can make this happen. I have no idea how this is going to work or how this is going to sound because my audio is going to come out of the computer while I'm singing. I have no idea if it's going to clip. We may have to work together and do a little bit of like sound testing and sound checking. We're going to get through this, you guys. Joey Nails is making it happen. Oh my God. All right. We go. Yeah, we'll go to the wide cam. Let's we'll get 2 of me up there. That's a good look. All right, hang on. I have to go pull up. Oh my God. I'm always woefully unprepared for this. Joey Nails, what are you doing to me? All right. Let me pull up my playlist for this. Oh my God. And I will pick something. Let's find something here on the old playlist. Joey Nails, you immediately set off the Weird Al alert right after. So I'm kind of thinking it might be a Weird Al night for karaoke. Let me look at what's on the list. We already did Steam Power Giraffe's Pink Pony Club.
Bobby, Al Yankovic blew his brains out in the late 80s after people stopped buying his records.
Nickabean's gifting subs. Oh my god. Oh my god. We got subs happening left and right. We are at level 3 hype train. Come on. We are at 31 out of 40. Yeah, Fun Zone. That would be a real easy one since there's no lyrics. All right, hang on. Let me see what I have on the list. I got MC Lars featuring Weird Al Yankovic. We got, oh man, I have Weird Al's Everything You Know Is Wrong, Weird Al's Since You've Been Gone, which is a little bit shorter. Oh, okay. There's certain ones I'm not going to say because we're not going to do them just yet. Not yet. Okay, let's see. Oh, that one's real short. That would be a real prank. All right, hang on. Okay, I'm thinking... Let's see. Ooh, Joey Nail says, this gigantic robot kills. Yo, I will... Okay, hang on. I'm with you. This gigantic robot kills. All right, hang on. I got to look that one up because I don't have it prepared. This gigantic robot kills... Karaoke. All right, it looks like there is one here. I have no idea if it's going to sound good because I didn't get to test it out ahead of time. We'll see how the audio sounds for us here. Is that sounding good? Is that sounding good? How's it sounding to me? Am I too loud? Is it too loud? Tell me how we're sounding. Is it blown out? Is it looping? Sounds okay? That sounds alright? Okay, alright. Sounds like we're... Oh boy. Alright, sounds like we're feeling okay with it. Let's see. Can I go... Yeah, I can. Alright, cool. I got a weird view on the screen here. I can't see the chat anymore. Oh my god. It's all... Everything's going to hell. Okay. Hang on. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Maybe that'll bring the chat back? Nope. All right. Hang on. We're making this work, you guys. We're making it work. It's all coming together. Joey Nails, you maniac. You absolute maniac. All right. We can do this. Here's hoping it sounds good. Move some stuff out of the way because I'm standing now. I'm not going to skank because I'm in Crocs, so forgive me if I'm not dancing like an utter maniac. All right, I guess I'm doing karaoke for MC Lars's This Gigantic Robot Kills from 2009, not 2002, Torres, 2009, featuring the MC Bat Commander of the Aquabats and the Suburban Legends on the horns. So here we go. Oh no. Nickabean's stooging me out on Twitter, telling the world this is about to happen. All right. Here we go. This is MC Lars, This Gigantic Robot Kills. Billy built a robot in his parents' garage because he had a list of problems that he needed to solve. He said, I'm sick of the hills, Laguna Beach, it's fake and whack. Let's party like it's 96 and bring the horn section back. Back before Gwen Stefani started rapping with Pharrell. Gas cost $1.16 and Goldfinger could sell. When reality TV wasn't scripted or contrived, the grass was fat and bumping and the beats were all played live. See, Billy was obsessed with third wave ska, the mighty Boss Hope's Real Big Fish, Less Than Jake, he'd seen them all. He longed for a time when even Bill Clinton played the sax on the White House lawn and kids wore shades and checkered slacks. So Billy sits back in the class and laughs with no bad laugh, has tact. Think of that robot, how's that? Ho, 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 ho. This gigantic robot kills. He's gonna come down the block, he's gonna fire at will. He's got a cannon on his shoulder and a laser in his hand. And they'll win the day for Billy, make the city understand. was completed and it opened up its eyes, weighing 700 pounds and standing 8'5" with his black coat, black shoes, black hat, set to attack. The robot headed to the hills to give those spoiled kids a smack. Chris Cavalieri got knife flack. Billy bopped the Aquabats. He ripped out Misha Barton's spine to crank Zay Ferris and Sublime. He burned down Heidi Montag's home as a blast of OC Supertones. Scream while smashed in LZ's head. Scott is not dead. This gigantic robot kills. He's gonna come down the block. He's gonna fire at will. He's blasting bullets from his elbow, shooting missiles from his eyes. Gonna win the day for Billy. Take the OC by surprise. He'll make you do the Macarena as you rock your Tamagotchi. Ring his Newton down in Woodstock when he say la-da-da-dee. He brought the 90s back and then he free to bed. If you can't find this jam on Napster, then the warehouse sells cassettes. This gigantic robot kills. He's gonna come down the block, he's gonna fire at will. He's got a cannon on his shoulder and a laser in his hand. He's gonna win the day for Billy, make the city understand. This gigantic robot kills. He's gonna come down the block, he's gonna fire at will. He's blasting bullets from his elbow, shooting missiles from his eyes. He's gonna win the day for Billy, take the whole world by surprise. Scott is not dead. All right, you guys. I hope I hope that was everything you guys wanted it to be. I hope that went well. I hope the sound synced up all right. Thank you all for hanging out. I think I've done all the painting I can do because everything needs to dry a whole bunch, and I had to tear down all my painting to do karaoke. Thank you guys for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow night. Torres can confirm in the chat. He will let us know. I will be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m., co-streaming with Johnny Torres, doing some No Rest for the Wicked. Johnny Torres, is that still the plan? Still the plan? Both cameras? Wicked together. Let's go. All right, you guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I think we got to raid someone on the way out the door here. I always do like to do that, so let's do that. Got to make sure we're sharing the love out there. Let's see who else is on right now. And it looks like I think we can probably raid. Oh, well, let's see. Okay, yeah, we're going to raid let's raid the Grizzly Crew. They're sponsoring my match on Saturday. I think that's the move. Don't you guys think so? We can raid the Grizz Crew? Yeah, I see Grizz. Everyone's saying it in the... Yeah, everyone beat me to it in the chat. All right, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to raid the Grizz Crew. Let me throw it into the chat here. All right. Invalid username. What did I do? What did I do? That's got to be right, right? There it is. We're raiding the Grizz Crew. I will see you all over there. Throw in some emotes. Thank them all for sponsoring my match this Saturday at Blitzkrieg Pro when I defend my Jensen Championship against Azure. Hopefully I'm coming out of it still parry 3 belts after this weekend. All right, I will see you all over there. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you to Joey Nails. Thank you to Not Nickabeans, Rye, Cody Brooks, everybody. We had an absolute blast, and soon we're going to all be meeting up at Monster Jam. Get in the Discord. Vote for what day. I will see you all soon. Take care, my friends.